What's up, everybody? And today we're checking out the tragic betrayal of MARSOC Fox Company. This is by Tacticore. I've watched a couple of Tacticore videos in the past, and their storytelling is really, really good. And what I like about it is they actually have really good visuals while going through the story. We watch loads of really good storytellers out there, like the Fat Electrician and a bunch of other people, and they're really good, but they don't have as many visual storytelling. It's mostly just audible. So I'm really excited for this. I'm interested to see what this betrayal is. It's a relatively short video. It's like 8 minutes long. I will leave a link down below to the original video. Go over to Tacticore. They've only got 82,000 subscribers. Let's get them to 100k by the end of the year. After watching some of their previous videos, they more than deserve it. So head over there, give them some love and all that good stuff. Before we get started though, check out Chug. 10% off, link down below. Look at these. This is the version 2. This is the new version 3, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. And my favorite feature is the fact that this unscrews, and this can go in the dishwasher, protecting your wood, so you don't have to get your wood wet. Do you know what I mean? You can get your whole hand in it. You could only get like 4 fingers in it, and it was a bit of a squeeze, but now you can get a full fist in that grip. You know what I mean? I'm trying not to make any puns. I'm being genuine here, okay? Check out Chug. Free customization, free bag, 10% off. Link down below. Also, last little ad before we get started is for my own business. I've worked really hard on this drink. Nearly 2 years of hard work. It is out now. If you're in the UK, you can buy it. If you're in America, you can buy some clothing. Go over to the website right here. Go right there. Check it out. Head over to the Instagram, give the Instagram a follow if you want to see some of the stuff that I'm up to on a daily basis. Also, if you go to the Drink Morale YouTube channel, there'll be a link down below. On there, I'm doing bi-weekly podcasts and bi-weekly vlogs where I'm going on adventures and I'm doing podcasts and talking about important things about being outside. If you love military stuff, the chances are you also love nature and the outdoors. That Venn diagram is close to being a full circle. I've not met anyone in the military who doesn't love the great outdoors. And if that is something that interests you, head over to the Instagram, give it a follow. We're trying to make a tight-knit community of outdoor enthusiasts. If you're not interested in the outdoors, don't bother. I only want a tight-knit community of people who genuinely love the outside. So if that seems like your vibe, head over to the website, head over to the Instagram, check out the YouTube channel for the vlogs and podcasts. Other than that, let's shut up. Let's pull this up and let's see what this betrayal is all about.
Marine Corps component of U.S. Special Operations Command tasked with discreetly executing difficult to
Let's just watch that slide again.
Component of U.S. Special Operations Command tasked with discreetly executing difficult to highly sensitive missions in some of the world's most dangerous places. However, despite their exceptional skills and training, not all missions go according to plan.
Do you know what? I don't know much about MARSOC. I don't know much about them.
Their ordeal began on March 4th, 2007, in the Nangarhar province of Afghanistan.
Okay.
At approximately 6 a.m., the Marines departed from their base for a mission consisting of 3 phases that had been approved.
This was the year before I joined the Marines, 2007.
They proceeded eastward, passing through Badikat and heading towards the Tora Bora Mountains, which were covered in snow and mud. Upon reaching a key border crossing, they briefly met with an Army military police unit stationed nearby.
My presumption is a lot of this mission was planned, obviously. For those of you who don't know, missions in the military are so thoroughly planned. Like, you could spend a long time going over a mission, like, plan before you even conduct it. Like, a 10-minute mission can take days of planning.
Following this, the Marines resumed their search for insertion points along the base of the mountains.
This actually might just be a generic kind of patrol, though, or scouting mission or recce.
Search of areas where enough snow had melted to allow for future reconnaissance patrols. After failing to find any viable options, the convoy headed back towards Badikat, where the Marines planned to engage with the local elders and obtain more information about the insurgency in the area.
That was also a very common tactic, if you didn't know, is they would talk to the elders of each little village, get a bit of the understanding, get a bit of the lay down, see what's going on, hear the rumors. That was actually very common. They did that in the Marines quite a bit as well.
When they arrived to the district, the once bustling streets were unnervingly silent, and the only visible people were men of fighting age.
All right, I can tell you about this. The amount of how can I explain this without sounding too kind of woo-woo and spiritual and kind of paranormal-esque, kind of all the weird stuff? When you're so attuned with your fire team and your troop, and you're doing even in training, it happens in training where the vibe changes and you're aware something's gonna go down. Like there's just something that changes in the air and you feel it. Now you could probably explain it through science. Maybe people locking themselves away, people hiding. You can probably pick up them discrete subconscious tones in the air. You know what I mean? Like there's probably some sort of sciencey way to explain it, but it seems like very supernatural in a way where, and God, I remember this specifically happening on Final X in training. We were doing just a generic patrol. We're moving from point A to point B, and literally all the lads just started looking at each other, and we're in the middle of nowhere, so the change in volume doesn't change. So or at least maybe subconsciously something changed, but audibly nothing changed because we're out in nature anyway. But for some reason, we all just clocked each other. And I remember just being like, does anyone else... Like, I remember someone being on comms being like, does anyone else feel like we're going to get in contact here? And then literally within 30 seconds, boom, in contact. There's something about it that just... It does feel very supernatural in a way. And look, if you're a veteran, and I'm talking not just lads who went on tour, lads in training as well, because I know it happens in training as well. Have you experienced that before? Or is this a very small amount of people that can actually experience it? I don't know. Like, it feels weird, but it happens. It happens more than people think.
Then a vehicle appeared out of nowhere and rammed into the second vehicle in the convoy and exploded.
Wow.
The deafening sound of the explosion filled the air as an intense orange fireball illuminated the sky. The force of the blast sent shrapnel raining down on the 6 vehicles in the convoy. The platoon commander, Fred Galvin, barely had time to realize that they were ambushed. Suddenly, another car hurtled towards the side of the convoy. 3 men hung out the windows, shooting at the Marines with AK-47s. Despite being engulfed in flames, one of the Marine turret gunners managed to extinguish the fire on his body armor and immediately returned fire.
Good lad, good lad.
A hail of bullets on the approaching car and bringing it to a stop. But the Marines weren't out of danger yet, as they were suddenly met with a new wave of small arms fire from the opposite side of the road.
All this stuff happens so quick. You gotta be switched on at all times. This is what they call in the Royal Marines controlled aggression. The ability to be relaxed and just, you're switched on, you're aware of what's going on. But the moment you have to get the job done, that controlled aggression switches on and you're able to just bring it up. Do you know what I mean? You're able to go up to 100% instantly. And then when it's over and you know that it's over, you're able to bring it back down, be calm, and help the people that need to be helped. Controlled aggression. Very, very important trait in the military.
The Marines fought their way out of the complex ambush while still being fired upon from various directions. As they tried to make their escape, a mob had formed on the road, blocking their path with a car and their own bodies. In response, the turret gunner fired a warning shot above their heads, causing the crowd to quickly scatter. This gave the Marines the opportunity to drive around the roadblock and safely return to Jalalabad airfield.
Jeez.
They survived the ambush with only 1 Marine suffering shrapnel wounds, but the situation took a turn for the worse. Misinformation had begun to spread before the platoon even made it back to base. Locals alleged the MARSOC team had gone crazy, gunning down innocent civilians. Village elders provided a story that Marines were drunk and that they got out of their vehicles and went on a door-to-door rampage. They claimed that there
What? Surely they didn't believe that.
wasn't any vehicle that exploded, and that the Marines just made up the ambush and used slingshots and grenades to make it appear that there was an ambush happening just to have a reason to gun down civilians. This dispute would set the stage for everything that befell Fox Company in the days and months to come. Some Afghans alleged the Marines left their vehicles and threatened local journalists. who were taking photographs of the carnage, and some accused the Marines of appearing drunk.
Oh my
Colonel
God.
John Nicholson, the Army commander in the area, issued an apology to the local population.
Oh, mate. Are you serious? I mean, surely there was footage. I mean, how many lads are in that company? And you're telling me they couldn't compartmentalize each person and question each person? Just be like, hey, what's your story? Hey, what's your story? Without grilling them and being like, did you do this? Just getting their stories. And then what happens if you see discrepancies between their stories? Then you question it. You don't automatically go on the defense and be like, oh, we messed up. Because this could have legitimately happened.
Acknowledging that the actions of the elite Marine raiders were a blemish on the reputation and the memory of the numerous Americans who have died protecting Afghanistan and the Afghan people. The United States government compensated the survivors of the alleged shooting victims and their families with cash payments. No definitive number of civilian casualties was determined, and trial evidence indicated that no bodies were ever found. Nonetheless, the now defunct Afghan Independent Human Rights Commission reported as many as 19 deaths and 50 injuries.
Okay.
Major General Frank Kearney, who was the head of the U.S. Special Operations Command Central, informed the Washington Post that the Marines had killed at least 15 individuals and wounded 50.
Okay, surely there's more evidence here. I feel like we're missing out a lot of evidence here and key information.
Kearney also stated that there was no indication that the platoon had been fired upon after the explosion. Shortly after the incident, MARSOC Fox Company was given orders to leave the war zone, with a cloud of shame hanging over them.
What?
Commander Fred Galvin was also stripped of his command. However, the investigations into the events that transpired in Bodycott were only just the beginning.
I was going to say, surely this calls for a larger investigation. Like, that blown up vehicle, if it just disappeared, it's got to be somewhere. They're not going to... Would they make up that a vehicle blew up next to them? It's not like you can just make that up and be like, oh, there's no vehicle. It must be somewhere.
January 2008, 10 months after the incident, the Marine Corps held a court of inquiry. The purpose was to investigate and determine whether there was enough credible evidence to press criminal charges.
What does that say? The fragment that you assume is AKR. What is your level of certainty of that? I guess I don't know how to answer that question. There is always a possibility that it could be some other caliber. We did direct comparisons on that. The only way we absolutely know is when we identify it to a specific gun. But in your expert opinion, what is it? It's from either an AK or a Dragunov.
Meetings lasted 3 weeks and had a significant physical and emotional toll on the 7 Marines who were most closely involved. The military placed restrictions on media coverage of the court of inquiry, and a significant portion of the testimony was conducted behind closed doors to prevent the release of classified information. The Marines said they faced tactics of deception, coercion, and even threats of deportation from members of their own military.
What?
The consequences of the military's investigation of Fox Company extended beyond the Marines who were implicated. Kearney, a former 3-star general who retired from the Army in 2012, regrets his involvement and faced his own investigation by the Defense Department Inspector General.
So I'm confused here. Like, what's the evidence? Is it like what happened? Because obviously it gave us the story and it's gone straight to the being hit for this incident. So there must have been evidence against them, right? Am I wrong by saying that?
This was prompted by accusations of repeated misconduct made against Kearney by North Carolina Congressman.
Is this all just hearsay or is it legit evidence-based?
Walter Jones, relating to his handling of the case against Fox Company and another incident involving members of the Army's elite Green Berets. 5 months later, on Memorial Day weekend, they released a 1-sentence statement which said the Marines acted appropriately.
Okay.
Despite being exonerated, the Marines persistently felt as though they were perceived as guilty of committing war crimes by millions of individuals.
Yeah, it seems that that was the narrative, like almost instantly. And if this video has given us all the information possible, there's no evidence to back that up, right? I mean, I've seen so far, 6 minutes of this whole what is probably a highly complex situation, but still.
8 years later, Major news outlets are still reporting that Fox Company killed innocent civilians. The Marines that are still enlisted say they're passed over for promotions and now approach battle with hesitance. One of the Marines said, "I just won't shoot my gun, and if they shoot me, I think it's easier to take a bullet than to actually have to go through all these interrogations."
Wow.
Galvin has spent more than a decade fighting to clear his Marines' names after he says the world painted them as war criminals who killed innocent civilians in their race to escape bodycott. Galvin desires complete transparency so that it's absolutely evident that the conflict in bodycott was a clean shoot, as he refers to it. He wants it to be known that his Marines didn't abandon their vehicles. They maintained control, and as the Court of Inquiry determined, they were aware of their targets and their use of force was justified.
So, yeah, it seems like it's a lot of hearsay. I'm sure there is more evidence to and for this, but this is the whole innocent and proven guilty until proven guilty situation. It doesn't seem like that was the case unless I'm missing something.
Galvin stated that the belief that the MARSOC team had committed war crimes has been haunting the members of Fox Company for over 10 years. They've never received an official apology, and the only time they were somewhat cleared was following a review by a Navy Records Board in 2018.
You have to remember the military doesn't apologize. The military does not apologize. I've already gone over this story before. I was beat up by my corporal at 4-5 Commando, and it was completely brushed under the rug. That guy got in trouble. He left the Marines, ended up joining the Royal Marine Charity, I'm pretty sure, something like that. I don't know. He's gone now. He's doing his own thing. And there was evidence to show it was all made up. People winding that corporal up just to make me look bad. And yet I never once got an apology from anyone. They said, the Royal Marines said I was in a bad way mentally. Very, very bad way. To a point of I knew I was in danger of myself, unfortunately. And the military straight up said to my face that I don't have depression. And now looking back, I was 18, 19-year-old in a place where I was close to doing something really bad to myself. And then to tell me straight to my face that I was completely fine. And no one ever, the military never apologizes for anything they do. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't make me hate the Marines. I don't even hate that corporal that bullied me. I'm over it. But what I'm trying to say is, if the military does mess up, they won't apologize. It doesn't happen.
The individuals most directly impacted by this case continue to experience lingering concerns regarding potential violent retaliation from adversaries associated with those encountered in bodycott. The arduous legal battle has resulted in ongoing health challenges, which they attribute to the severe stress endured. Although no members of Fox Company were discharged from the military due to this incident, some have encountered significant professional difficulties. "I look like a war criminal," said one of the Marines. Although cleared of wrongdoing, the members of the unit were negatively impacted by the way the incident was perceived. But let us know what you think in the comment section below. If you liked the video, hit that thumbs up button.
That was a good video.
Make sure you like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.
Make sure you go over to Tactical and give him a subscribe. That was a really good video. Wow. Yeah. I feel like there's probably a lot of information there that we're not getting at the end of the day. But at the same time, if the military years later are backtracking saying, hey, we messed up, it just goes to show what they do is they mess up and then they give it so much time that everyone's already moved on. And then they quietly turn around and say, oh, we messed up on that, by the way. And then still don't apologize to people. I've seen it happen in the past. And it'll never stop happening, that type of stuff. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Head over to Tactical, give them a like, give them a subscribe. Really important that you do that. Check out Chug, 10% off, link down below. Free bag, free customization, and also go buy yourself a pack of morale. If you love the outdoors, follow all the deets right here and follow the YouTube as well. Until next time, I love you all. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.